Hey, hello. Test. Steve, can we test your mic?
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Steve, very clear. Okay, very good morning, everyone in Oriental Real Estate. And also, I'm sure there's a few of you from Esprit Estate Agency as well. I would like to thank everyone for making their time today. So today, our speaker will be Mr. Stephen Lim, a very well-trusted friend of mine. Actually, in fact, this year I have transacted some properties through him, and it was a good pleasure, and he is very professional at what he does. So he is currently a partner at Andrew Jai & Co. And his company currently has 5 branches, 2 in KL and 3 out of KL, if I'm not mistaken. So rest assured, everyone will be getting fantastic training and good advice today. If there is any questions, please list it down on the chat. And at the end of the session, we will have 15-20-minute Q&A. Okay, so without further ado, please give Mr. Steve a round of applause.
All right, thank you everyone. Good morning everyone. I think you all have applause for me. Yes, I can see a few applause emoji. Thank you. I cannot really hear you. So thank you everyone for waking up and taking this effort to come here and learn today and make full use of the MCO and becoming a better agent. Okay, and thanks to Kai and Eddie for inviting me to this talk. I'm very grateful. So everyone, please give a round of applause to Eddie, Kai, and yourself. Okay, since I cannot hear you, can everyone press 3 on the chat room? Can you press a 3 on the chat room so that I know that you all can hear me?
Press a 3.
Yes, so I'm seeing 3 coming out from the chat room. Okay, so this chat room here in the Zoom chat room will be where I will conduct the Q&A session at the end. So after you're listening to my talk, at the end you have anything, I will answer your question from this chat room. All right, so this is my first time doing a digital session with you all. Okay, I've came to Oriental many times doing a live talk with a live audience where I can see and touch you. But here is a bit different. So I'm trying to see how we can have more engagement and have a more fun and learning experience together. Okay, so let me start with my slide. Okay, the advertisement is finished. Back to the topic. So today, Kai and Eddie invited me here to help you to become a more professional real estate negotiator. Okay, the core value of Oriental, as you can see here, is professionalism, people first, innovation, and customer focused. Okay, and my role here is to help you to become a more professional real estate negotiator. Okay, and today our topic is concerning what we are happening in the society right now. Is the practical solution for real estate transaction during MCO. Okay, everyone, if you are still here, please give a round of applause to yourself for taking this opportunity to learn and becoming a better agent. Please press a 2 right now so that I can see that all of you are still there and listening. Okay. So because of, let us begin. Because of the movement control order, as we know, we are all staying at home since the 18th of March, okay, this year, okay. Most businesses other than the essential services are suspended, okay, and commercial tenants are unable to open for business during the MCO. They have lost their income, okay, and there is an issue that is concerning many tenants is do they have to continue to pay rental during this MCO period, okay. So I believe not just me, I think some of you or many of you has received call from tenant or landlord regarding this issue, okay? So let us see what is the solution regarding this, okay? So tenancy during the MCO. I'm going to help you to resolve the legal dilemma between landlord and tenant and the future prospects after MCO, okay? And how should we deal with this issue that should landlord reduce rental? And how to request landlord to reduce rental? I'll give you some tips during this talk to let you deal with this issue, okay? And then we are going to talk about the termination right of tenancy agreement. Some tenant even want to terminate their agreement already. I have some cases, okay? So let us go through this, okay? So because of the MCO, it's a very extreme circumstances happening right now. The government has used some package to boost the economy, okay? Right now, there is this loan repayment moratorium, which is a 6 months loan deferment for all personal and SME and housing loan and hire purchase, okay? So we are going to talk about housing loan right now. So because of the 6 months deferment, a lot of landlords do not have to pay principal and interest for 6 months, okay? So I've been getting some calls, you know, okay? I've been getting calls from tenants calling me, hey, my landlord don't have to pay any loan for 6 months, you know. Can they waive the rental or not? I don't have income, my shop is not open, I have to pay salary, I have to pay for the stock even, and the stock is getting rotten. So this is the issue happening right now. So because this is a digital session, I'm trying to include a more interactive, like using a cartoon and memes to boost up the interaction, okay? So let us see how this works. So this dilemma, okay, we are going to discuss from 2 points, okay? Firstly, we are discussing this rental reduced from legal point of view, and we'll discuss it from a business point of view, okay? So we'll talk from the legal point of view right now. First step for any legal issue, the first step you have to see is what you have signed. Yes, signature. Signature is the most important thing in a legal situation, okay? What you have signed, what the tenant and the landlord has signed, okay? So first step is to check the tenancy agreement, okay? Some call me, they don't even have a tenancy agreement, okay? So you better check with your customer. I think a lot of them don't even have tenancy agreement. They just use verbal agreement, okay? So does the tenancy agreement contain this clause called force majeure, okay? Force majeure, okay? This is a Latin word. You can pronounce with me if you like, force majeure, force majeure. Yes, okay? If you have, you can pronounce it, press 6 right now so that I know that you learned something new today. Okay, so this is the clause that I think you will see in many articles and even in the news in the coming days, okay? So what is force majeure, okay? This is the legal term in a contract. In the tenancy agreement, okay? The general meaning for force majeure is a superior force, okay? It's a superior force. I will read it to you. It's a bit dry, okay? Law is a bit dry. I'll try to make it more interesting, but I have to read this to you because this is the definition for this clause. It's a superior force that essentially frees both parties from liability or obligations when an extraordinary event or circumstance beyond the control of the parties, such as war, strike, riot, crime, epidemic, or an event described by the legal term act of God, okay? Such as hurricane, flood, earthquake, volcanic eruption, okay? If any of this happen and you have this force majeure clause, okay, the liability and the performance of the party be suspended during the duration of the force majeure, okay? It's a very legal term, so if you have any question, feel free to ask me about this term, okay? Not just in tenancy or SPA, but in a lot of commercial contract, this is a very important clause right now, okay? So from a legal point, you check the tenancy agreement. Oh yes, there is a force majeure clause, but you have to check as well. Does the force majeure clause include circumstances such as beyond the control of the parties, epidemic, okay, or government regulation, okay, that allows for rental reduction or even waiver of the rental, okay? I'm pretty sure nobody put COVID-19 in their force majeure clause, or else that person is a prophet already, okay? He can predicted this happening. So nobody could have predicted this, okay? The last time anything like this happened is in the 1918, okay? The Spanish flu epidemic, okay? So from a legal point, if there is a force majeure clause, in such terms, okay, the tenant has the legal grounds to waive or suspend the rental payment due to MCO or even COVID-19. Of course, everything legally is a case-by-case basis, okay? See how is the term being interpreted in the contract. If you have any question, feel free to ask me the contract or the tenancy agreement and let me have a look. I can help you, okay? And also, I have seen some tenancy agreement. They have force majeure clause, but it only allows for termination of tenancy agreement. I think that is that's more common tenancy force majeure clause for termination only instead of a rental reduction. Okay, so I will go through a few scenarios like a Q&A so that you can have a more idea of how this works in the tenancy agreement for force majeure. So for example, if a tenancy agreement allows force majeure for termination, can tenant choose to delay in paying the rental instead of terminating the agreement? Okay. The answer is no. If it is for termination, it is only for termination. It does not mean suspension. Termination means termination. Okay. So the next scenario, the force majeure clause, can the landlord use it to terminate the tenancy? Okay, maybe the property price is even better now, or whatever the arrangement the landlord want to use. Can the landlord use force majeure to terminate this tenancy? The answer is no, because the tenant has the right only, because only tenant has the right, because only tenant is being affected by the MCO, okay, and not the landlord or even the COVID-19. The landlord is not the affected party under the force majeure clause, okay? So what if you check your tenancy agreement and you see, hey, no force majeure clause? What are you going to do? Can the tenant still legally request for a waiver or reduce of the rental? The answer is no. Without such a clause, no legal rights by the tenant can be used to exercise the force majeure option, okay? And cannot terminate the rental agreement too. And the payment of the rent, of course, have to according to the payment stipulated in the tenancy agreement, okay? Okay, let me put this. Okay, so question, can residential tenant exercise force majeure clause in tenancy agreement? Residential are the people who is not doing business, commercial, shop lots, or businesses. They do not have to open for business. Are they affected? So can they use the force majeure? It's a case-by-case basis, but generally it does not happen that way. MCO is not affecting the residential. They are not opening for business and they do not have loss of income. But legally speaking, cannot does not mean you cannot request, okay? Maybe some of the tenant is affected by losing their employment, okay? But this cannot be used to request on a legal basis. I'll teach you how later to request for reduction, even though legally you cannot. This is how we solve the issue, okay? So other than, let me have a sip of water first. Is everyone still listening? If everyone is still listening, please press 7 so that I know everyone is still here. Okay, thank you for everyone for listening. Okay, let's get more interaction if we can. All right, so other than force majeure, based on the principle of contract, there is a doctrine called frustration doctrine, okay? It is not in the contract, you cannot find it anywhere, but a contract can be frustrated even though you didn't sign it, okay? So this is an agreement to do an impossible, an agreement to do an act impossible in itself is void, okay? So this is the frustration doctrine, okay? It is possible to void a tenancy agreement based on the frustration doctrine. However, it has never been happened before in Malaysia using because of MCO and COVID-19. So there is no precedent. And legal theory is possible, but factually it's not easy to be done because the tenant has to move out immediately right now, which the MCO does not allow, which is illegal at the same time. So of course, if you want to explore this, I can explore it with you. But right now, like I said, there's no precedent, okay? But commercial contract, this frustration doctrine will become in handy in many commercial transactions, okay? So that is the legal perspective of dealing with rental, rental issue, okay? So now, of course, in this society, in this world, not everything can be solved by a legal angle. Okay, as a lawyer, we help our client to solve issue, not just legally, but also from a business perspective. Because end of the day, we want to create a solution, okay, and not just go to the court and fight, okay. So from a business perspective, we'll explore how should the landlord reduce rental and can the tenant request for rental reduction, okay. So firstly, the question to ask, is this a residential or a commercial property? Secondly, we are asking, are the tenants in the groups affected by the MCO, okay? So the landlord has to inspect closely about what is happening with the tenant, okay? Have to understand the tenant situation to come out with a decision, okay? So if it is a residential and if it is affected by the MCO, the tenant, okay, the landlord can consider whether the tenant is an employee, whether he's still employed or unemployed, and consider factors like whether the employee has unpaid leave. Okay, if they're still getting payment during this time, then he's not really affected, you see. Okay, and then if he's still having salary, and right now still a lot of government incentive to help the employee right now. So the landlord should take this into consideration when giving a reduction of rental. Okay, even though you still want to reduce, it's up to you. It's all your personal choice, but these are all the factors you can take into consideration. And we come into the more affected group, which is the commercial and industrial tenancy, okay? The commercial and industrial tenancy, they are not able to open for business because a lot of them are not essential services, okay? Like barber even. I just realized I thought I can go to my barber already. Now I still cannot go to my barber. Hope I still look all right with my hair, right? So if it is commercial tenant and industrial tenant, you check if they are affected by the MCO and they are considered non-essential services, the landlord can consider reducing rental because they are in a difficult time right now. Our country is in a difficult time right now, okay? Because from business perspective, if the tenant default, what they are losing is only 2 to 3 months deposit, okay? But the landlord, you're losing a very good tenant if he is a good payer. So you lose a good tenant at this difficult time, okay? So this is important to know each other's difficulty at this time, okay? So that we can create a win-win situation and get through these exceptional circumstances together, okay? So when my client called me and said, hey, my landlord don't have to pay rent for 6 months, he doesn't have to pay loan interest for 6 months, why he didn't waive my rental? Not nice lah. So the tenant has to take into consideration the landlord has difficulties too. Even though the principal and interest to the bank is not paid for 6 months, it's only deferred. The interest is deferred. Principal is a holiday and the interest is deferred, okay? So the landlord still has to pay interest. And also the ongoing cukai pintu, cukai tanah, and management fee, okay? And even repair cost, okay? During this time, if the property need to be repaired. And even some of them that use some people like Airbnb or property management consultancy to help manage the property, they are still paying that too. This is all factors to take into consideration when tenant deal with the landlord to see from the point of view, okay? Because a lot of people, they misunderstood this Bank Negara direction. They thought interest is waived. It's not interest is waived, it's only being deferred, okay? There are still interest to be paid at the end, okay? As you can see here, it's no compound interest. The difference between interest and compound interest are different, okay? So this is a reference that I got from my previous talk. It is in Mandarin. For those of you cannot understand Mandarin, I will explain it to you, okay? So this is a general guideline that is happening in Malaysia about rental reduction. So what they found out is from their research is below 2,000 ringgit, the majority of landlord, they give a 3 months, 10 to 20% of rental reduction. This is in the majority, okay? And the moderate group, they give a deferment of 3 months rental, but paid only 10 to 20% during these 3 months. Okay, so this is in moderate group. And those who waive interest, waive the rental completely for below 2,000 ringgit is in the minority. Okay. over 2,000 ringgit, for the next 3 months, 10 to 20% rental reduction is in the majority, okay? And over 3,000, let the rental to defer for 3 months and only pay 20 to 20% during these 3 months is in the minority. Waive rental or refer the rental payment and the tenancy terms is in the minority as well, okay? So this is a reference you can use when you want to talk with your clients or the landlord or tenant to use it as a guide lah, okay? So as you can see here, Sunway is, they have announced a few major shopping complexes. What do we have here in Malaysia that is the most? Shopping mall. So all these shopping malls are affected by COVID very, very badly, okay? So the big shopping mall like Sunway and Pavilion, they have announced rent-free for their tenant 14 days during MCO. Okay, this one is the older news. I do not know if they have extended the rent-free, but this is the previous announcement that I got. Okay, all the Sunway malls such as Pyramid, Carnival, Putra, all these Giza, all these are rent-free for 14 days at time. And I heard Pavilion are doing the same. So if your tenant want to reduce the rental, do not know how to ask, okay? Or even you can ask, right this period of time, you know, you are staying at home. Everyone is staying at home. I think the tenant is staying at home as well, okay? The landlord is staying at home as well, okay? So if you can help your tenant to reduce rental, do you think he will love you more? Okay, so this is a rental reduce request that I did in a template. It's a general template that you can use to help your tenant to reduce rental. Okay, they'll be so happy if they can save money during this time. Okay, maybe they didn't ask you for it. You can ask them that whether they want to do it. You can help them to send them this template, and then they can request from a landlord themselves. Okay, so this is a template that I have. I have the soft copy. Okay. If you want the soft copy, you can contact me. You can take a picture of my phone, okay, or you can go to my Facebook. I will email or message you or WhatsApp you, and you can use this template to help your tenant to reduce rental if you hope so, okay? Increase value in your service, okay? Okay, let me have a sip of water. So everyone, what do you think so far? Is everyone learning something and feeling motivated and engaged? Want to learn more? If you want to, press 7 so that I know there are people there listening and I'm not just talking to my computer. Okay, people are pressing. Okay, thank God. Give everyone a round of applause. Give Kai and Eddie a round of applause for inviting me, and a round of applause for yourself to listening until now. And a round of applause for me, please, by pressing 9. Can I see a 9, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, so many 9. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so touched. Feel like human connection right now, okay? Miss human beings so much right now. Miss my friends, miss my clients even, miss you guys, okay? So stay at home right now, okay? Right now, nothing much we can do. You cannot go out and view property. You cannot go out and sign booking form. You can do online marketing and all this. And agents, a lot of them, their business is suffering right now, okay? I know a lot of them have a very difficult time right now, okay? Because your income is commission-based, okay? But right now, staying at home, you're doing what you can to become a better agent, okay? Right now, you're learning to becoming better. You get all this knowledge, you get all this training, okay? You are making yourself better, okay? What my view is, okay, from what I have seen as lawyers, we are in the forefront of property transaction. We can see how many deals they are going on, okay? We are feeling right now, everything is like, you know, a rice cooker. The rice cooker, the lid is closed and the rice is cooking. The steam is building, okay? This is how the property market is right now. The steam is building up, okay? Once the lid is open, okay, we can see there is a boost in the property market, okay? So when the boost happens, do you want to be in the front grabbing the chance, okay? Right now, everyone is staying at home. Okay, all your potential clients, all your prospects, they are staying at home. Okay, it's a good time to know, to get to know their issue. Okay, their properties. Okay, see whether there's any selling, any buying. Okay, there are still many cash cash rich buyer right now that is looking to buy. Okay, use this chance to get to know your clientele. Okay, and when the MCO is lifted and when the market is booming, when the lid is open, you will be in the front grabbing all the best deal. All right, give everyone a round of applause for listening. All right, thank you very much. This is our motto. We believe in always being better. 没有最好，只有更好. Okay, so this is my name card. You can take a picture of this. Okay, I cannot see anyone taking a picture, but I assume you are. You can add me on Facebook as well. I will update constantly on my media because right now we can only use online. Thank God there is a virtual reach using social media right now to talk to everyone right now. Okay, so usually I will take a group photo session at the end of my talk. Let me see if I can do it here. A thumbs up and take a picture. All right. Oriental. Wow, still got people coming in. Okay. Everyone say Oriental.